Hello. Hi. Welcome to this. Hello and welcome to the second episode of this podcast. This amazing, incredible. We don't have drinks. Oh my god. It's fine.
I have water.
You
Should
do?
I get a drink?
You know what? It's a vibe. This one is
Sober.
You know, sober.
Sober podcast.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome back to the second episode of this amazing podcast, Abyss Tonic, with your amazing, absolutely sober hosts, Vlad here and
Vlad the Impaler. And Moldy.
Moldy, as in moldy?
Disgusting. Oh.
Anyway, so welcome back. It's
How you been?
We're already recording the second episode. Can you believe it? And we kind of plan to post bi-weekly. So this is crazy. We're actually doing the effort to do so.
Yeah. It's not like we filmed the first one in February.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, so why don't you go ahead, Moldy, if that's your name, and present the today's subject.
Today's subject on today's menu, we have for you one big topic surrounded by one question and another topic. And that is, I have notes, and that is the profitable cage of artist branding, surrounded by the topic of art in the capitalist era that we live in, and the question, why is being an artist so scary?
Yep.
That's kind of heavy.
Thank you. Yes. Kind of heavy and felt like a subject that's pretty close to both of us, as we're both like aspiring but not necessarily practicing or releasing artists in any way. Like, yeah. I mean, if you watch the previous episode, you kind of get the idea of like what we're interested in and that.
If you didn't watch it, then you can. Sorry.
You can please watch the video, the podcast, the episode, whatever.
Plug it.
So yeah, this is a subject that's really close to our hearts, as we're both aspiring artists. I am, as I said in that video, interested by music, and I aspire to at some point maybe release my music at some point. Yes.
We're all waiting.
We're all waiting. The world is waiting. Yeah.
What
about you, Moldy? Why are you calling yourself an artist?
Why am I the way that I am? Thank you, Dad.
Did you call me daddy?
Bitch. Ow. Oh.
Who's your daddy?
Who's your slutty daddy? I'm an artist because, mainly because I write my sorrows away. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always loved reading, and the best thing to follow that up would be to write something. And that's kind of my gist for the most part. Mm-hmm. And I would also like to, actually publish something at some point in my life, not just write stuff in my laptop and in my notes.
Right.
That'd be nice.
Right.
Yeah. Like the YouTube channel is good for
Oh, yeah.
sharing stuff.
Yeah.
But still, something that's not short would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good place to start.
Before we begin, we did actually kind of plan to have this like recurring segment in our videos. I keep saying you can tell I grew up during the 2015 YouTuber era or something. But in our podcast, we're going to have this little segment where we recommend, or I don't know, we just share some specific song, album, movie, whatever we're feeling like sharing with you guys.
Yeah. So we should do that now, I guess. Do we want to do that?
Yeah, I guess. Do you have anything in mind?
Well, I should probably go with what I was listening to the most this week, which is the Ray of Light album from Madonna.
Oh yeah.
I've been listening to Frozen and Skin and Substitute for Love, I think. There's a whole bunch of them.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
I absolutely love from that album. I think my favorite was Swim. Maybe that's kind of basic, but I did love it. I go back to it. And also the title track is really good too.
Yeah. The visuals are really nice as well. Like, I don't know, it's so punchy.
Yes. For me, I will also recommend, I think I will recommend an artist overall, Kraftwerk. This is what I'm recommending today, is because I actually went to a concert yesterday, and yeah, I was blown away by these guys, like, you know, crazy stuff. And for a specific recommendation, I think I will go with a specific track, which is a mix that was actually the intro to the whole show, and it was, what was it called? It was Numbers / which one? Computer World, I think. Wait, let me check. Yeah, this one. It was so good. Like how it opened the show, it was demented. I loved it, and such a trippy experience. I recommend. I love Kraftwerk.
Should put in the clip that you sent me yesterday, because this is the first time I properly hear about it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was amazing. It's really cool, and I really recommend you guys to listen to Kraftwerk. Yes,
they're interesting. I don't think I've heard of the band and any music from them, except for yesterday when I told you I started I started a fucking electronic playlist and I was listening to the entirety of it, and then straight as Vlad was going into the concert, I just randomly heard a song and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds nice!" And then I opened my phone because I didn't know what it was, and it was Kraftwerk.
Was it The Model?
Yeah.
Yeah. The crowd went wild for that one, obviously. It's like their biggest song.
Yeah.
I also really like this one song. Like, I actually want to recommend this one too. It's Electric Cafe. I had it stuck in my head. It scratches my brain in such a way. Like, I've been singing Electric Cafe all day. It's crazy.
On the train.
What?
On the train specifically. Oh.
Yeah. I was like, that synthesized vocoder was playing in my head on repeat.
Well then, shall we start the big conversation?
Oh, let's get into the meat of it.
Okay, let's get into
Here's Blondie, by the way.
Oh. Your shirt is nice.
Yeah.
You put me back onto Blondie, by the way, for the past month, and I end up listening to them a lot.
As you should. I'm doing God's work, as always.
The amount of times we've both sang Maria before the festival is neurodivergent, to say the least. Right. Anyway, so let's get into the big deals of the... Big deals.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
let's start with the easy one that's more opinion based and also kind of personal experience based, and you can answer this in however way you want. But in a couple of ideas, why do you think being an artist is so scary? Specific to your field, obviously.
I mean, I do think. I mean, generally, being an artist is, of course, kind of like looked down upon and kind of, not really considered as the first option by many people. Oh my god, it's so hard to do without alcohol. We forgot alcohol. Yeah, anyway.
I think it's some, but
yeah, no, we're sober. We're sober today.
yucky. My life is gonna wear.
But anyway, I think it's really hard to be an artist, especially, of course, with music specifically, it's much easier nowadays, I think, to get this stuff done, but it's much harder from other perspectives. Like, of course, back then it was harder to get your music even heard or shared or anything. But once you got your foot through the door, you actually didn't have to do this much yourself. You actually had labels actually willing to help you. And nowadays, even with the label, I heard that it's not as nice. You still have to do a lot of work yourself. Like, you have to be the marketer, you have to be the producer, even the lyricist, the singer, I don't know, or at least if you're independent, like, you have to do much more things, like also be the photographer. But yeah, like, I guess this is more like an influence of the influencer culture, I guess, kind of seeping into music and kind of changing how that's done.
And how do you feel social media has affected, in a sense, the industry? Or how things flow, I guess. That's the gist of it.
Well, in a way, I do think it's great how more in the recent years with TikTok and whatever, music has become much more accessible, and you can find an audience, or you can pray to the algorithm gods that your song goes viral and you get 3 listeners. Yeah, I think you can have more control nowadays, maybe without having to rely on this third party to get your music heard. However, I feel like this kind of has caused a bit of the kind of like the death of monoculture, and how there's like not, and I know there's many people that have talked about this, how there's not many worldwide events in music specifically happening anymore. Like, there's not that one song that everyone knows. Maybe the closest thing that I can think of is maybe Espresso from Sabrina. That was kind of like a big moment for everyone. But it feels like these moments are much more rare than they used to be. So I don't know, I guess we're also like divided but also connected in different ways.
Yeah, makes sense. I would argue that we're actually quite very divided.
Can you expand on your thoughts?
I do think that based off of how much boxing we do in today's society, and I don't mean boxing as a sport. I mean boxing of people, how much we reduce ourselves to certain things, how hyper-independent and alienated from community society is nowadays. I just feel like that seeps through in the art that we make, in the way that we connect to things, and the stigma that comes with purely saying that you're listening to a specific artist. You're already put in a certain area. You're a what was it? What did Spotify doesn't Spotify Wrapped kind of have this thing where it calls you like a pink Pilates princess?
Oh yeah.
Whatever. If you listen to Sabrina or something like that. And she's got a strong branding, obviously, so that checks out, but...
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I guess it's like with the algorithmic whatever bullshit going on nowadays, so... there was also like on Spotify Wrapped, I remember you mentioned, there was this thing with like the tribes or whatever, you know, like there was this, I don't know, based on your listening activity, you are assigned a certain tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wait, let me turn on the light.
Turn off the music, turn off the lights, I wanna feel peace inside. I know you're hungry.
Is there any difference? Okay, there's a bit.
I wanna feel the peace inside.
Sing it! Yeah. Oh my god, we're so scattered on this thing.
A little bit, but it's alright. It's alright.
Okay.
Still need to figure out how to do the planning around the topics and stuff, so...
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Take some time, and people have patience and kindness, right, people? Thank you.
Right.
Kiss to you, people.
I love you all 5 people watching this.
Come on, I got 100 views last time.
I mean, how many unique visitors? I don't remember.
I didn't look at the stats and I don't like it. Because we're anti-algorithm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't feel like it's the same when it comes to writing. And I have to be honest, I think it's one of those artistic fields where branding is not necessarily as important, like personal branding specifically. But I do think that in general, the way to get exposure in today's society, especially because there's a lot of us artists out there, is usually through social media. So inherently, there's this discussion that we've kind of had that when you're an artist, you're also a performer, and you're also a content creator now, and you're also a marketer, and you're also, depending on the funding and possibilities that you have, and what you have access to, and what your skill set is, and how much you're willing to learn, there's so many variables. Based off of that, you can make it or not, and even then, the algorithm is kind of scattered.
Yep.
So, when it comes to writing, I usually see poetry be quite good, but when it comes to prose, I don't really see a lot of people talking about their prose. So a lot of the times what I see ends up happening, and probably what I did myself is to kind of start with book reviews and literature-related stuff, and then go into the personal, because it kind of builds you a bit of a safety net on some level that people enjoy your personality, therefore they might enjoy your writing, although that's not assured, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to do the same kind of branding that you would have to do, for example, for your music. There's aesthetics to take into account. There's many things, which you still kind of do when you make videos, but it's not the same.
Yeah, you kind of also, I feel like the difference is also you kind of have to deliver a certain quantity and quality of sorts. Like you can half-ass stuff as a YouTuber a bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, you can also do it as a musician, but you won't be taken as seriously, and you would kind of get drowned out in the sea of musicians.
Depends. If it's commercial.
Or it depends. I mean, I guess so. But it really, I feel like this is an interesting conversation. I'm not quite sure what the answer is, truly.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if there is one. We're good on the audio. Yeah, but I will say, and I've read this actually from a book that I got from you and Lexi. Hello, Lexi. She's probably watching this. Another beautiful artist who is also a singer, aspiring singer. Hello, girl.
she actually has music out, like two songs, and you should check her out.
You should. We're gonna link everything below.
Yeah.
And I got this book from you guys like 2 years ago for my birthday. I don't know if it was 2 years ago. Doesn't matter. It was 2 years ago, and it was about writing fiction and nonfiction by Orson Scott Card, which is the guy that wrote Ender's Game, not the point. And he was talking about how a lot of the times with writers, once they get known for something, for a specific book type, for a specific genre, for a specific, series, it's very hard to escape it. It's kind of like the branding of the artist in itself. Not quite the same, but in the same area. So he gave the example of Frank Herbert with Dune, how he wanted to go beyond that. He wanted to write out there stuff, and it would just not sell. People were actually way more interested. I don't know if it was that it wouldn't sell and that he wrote stuff, or he didn't even have the possibility to because it was rejected or something. But it was definitely very enclosing, because once people... The human brain is kind of wired for ease and predictability in many ways. And so when it likes something, especially if it's escapism related, they just keep going for the same thing and they want to build on that. And yeah, so I guess that in the sense could be considered sort of the biggest branding that you find with writers. But I guess we could go into examples for music and writing that have strong brands.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this thing is also like, of course, pretty common in music. I feel like it's like people are so familiar with this that I don't know if it's like worth going too much in depth, but for sure I've seen this with artists I've been following a lot, like especially the ones that tend to kind of change their sound, change their direction quite a bit. This is actually what happens in music too, as you know. I was thinking about the example of Marina, where she had her Electra Heart era. That was technically her most commercially successful one, where she went pretty viral, and even nowadays she's still making moves with that album. But I feel like at the time, with that album, I feel like this is exactly what happened, because afterwards she changed direction quite drastically, and people were demanding the same thing again, and she would not give it to them because she does not feel aligned with doing Electra Heart 2, for example. So yeah, I feel like there is an element of, as you said, familiarity that just people crave and want more of, but I don't know, it really depends. I feel like it's great for artists to experiment, and I feel like Marina has kind of, over time, got that right. Managed to include this willingness to change in her identity as an artist, in her branding. Like, this is her thing. You, like, as fans, you expect the next album to be quite different from the previous. So I feel like she kind of got people used to that, though it was a rocky road.
Yeah, but I feel like that kind of speaks to how important part of the branding is also the engagement with the audience that you have, because she does so even on social media. Like, I think 2 days ago or 3 days ago, she was responding to comments on TikTok, and I got her TikToks recommended, and she was really explaining just her views on life and change, and even Destiny. I think that's the one I was watching.
Oh, I think I saw that one.
Yeah. And I'm like, you get why, because you feel like you know her as a person, and then you don't identify as much when it's a real person somehow. I feel like when we build fictional characters, which we do with artists, then we tend to identify a lot, and we tend to search for it everywhere and to try to continue this illusion. But the more you get to know the person behind.
Yeah, I agree. And even more because that album had this character that was so highly curated and highly not her. Like, I think she did say, like, it's everything she's not, that character. So, of course, when you strip it back afterwards, people are gonna be like, so what happened? What's going on? Why is it not the same thing anymore? And yeah.
Makes fucking sense. But you know who's very consistent? Sabrina. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she did have a rocky road, though. Like, why do I keep saying rocky road?
I don't know. I'm thinking of what is it? Is it Rocky Road, not some kind of thing you eat?
Rocky road?
Yeah. In America?
A bumpy road. A bumpy road. That's the correct term, right? I don't know. Anyway, about Sabrina, yeah, she did also, like, have quite a strange journey. Like in the beginning, she didn't really have, like, much of a strong visual identity. I remember, like, from her first albums, and I think she has a lot of albums. I don't know how many, but, like, a lot.
She does. I keep discovering more and more after she left, what was it, Girl Meets World on Disney Channel.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Yeah. I mean, I guess she found something that stuck, and then she completely honed in on it, so, and refined it. So
let's hope she can push through.
Yeah, I mean, that's also an interesting conversation, because, of course, the audience wants something consistent, but then if you're too consistent and you keep doing the same thing over and over again, that's
She's
also another problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she's
like,
getting...
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. Maybe she is kind of going into that direction. I don't know if it's true. I'm not really following her as closely, but I get the vibe that maybe people are like, okay, but I'm not sure.
I saw some, again, I think it was TikToks, but it might have been even last year I don't know, that some songs were coming out and people were already guessing what it's going to sound like, because the sound of her songs and the message in general is pretty much circling the same thing all the time. And in the same tone, because I feel like putting in the same message is not something that's completely the worst thing ever. Definitely not. But it's done the same way.
Yeah, it's tricky.
How do you feel about Chappell?
Chappell.
Yeah. Chappell.
I feel... I don't know, do you want to go first? Your thoughts about her?
I think she's got a great branding, and I think she's actually doing a pretty good job at keeping as authentic as one can in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I also think that the branding that she chose kind of allows... Because already we're talking about, let's say, like a sexuality minority. It kind of sets this tone of the trailblazer or something. Mm-hmm. And so, if she were to come out with something different, you wouldn't be surprised if she comes out with something that's really lively. Like, I don't know, Red Wine Supernova. Pink Pony Club. Take that. And then Kaleidoscope. Those are very, very different flavors, but it's still her, and it's like seeing two different sides of something that you would still expect. Like, somehow she manages to have cohesiveness, even in that. Still her. Yeah. And I'm fascinated.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like, she's a good example. Maybe, like, as for Sabrina, I can see where it can get... And with Sabrina, I actually have a great comparison for... So I think for Sabrina, it can be a bit more tricky to divert, like, a bit more uncertain to grow from here. Or, I don't know. Again, I'm not a professional branding person or whatever, so I don't know how I would brand Sabrina.
Are you? Are you not?
I mean, technically...
You just got your diploma.
I just got my diploma.
So
I'm a communication specialist or communication.
are we specialists?
I
We are special.
licensed. We're licensed in communication. Take that. But no, I mean, like, you know, as a person that has worked with, or like, I haven't worked with artists. I don't know, you know what I mean. So I don't know how I would get Sabrina out of this direction where I feel like maybe she can get stuck. Like, this is my impression as from what I know and what I studied and over time. I feel like she's in a bit of a, can get in a bit of a rut. And I said before that I had a great example that's like similar. Oh, okay. So she fainted. She's heavy. Okay. So I said an example that's similar to Sabrina, I feel, is Katy Perry. I feel like she really had relied on a very specific type of visual branding or just like overall branding that I feel like made people want to demand that more, but in a way didn't allow her to really explore and, you know, do other things, as we've seen with the Witness album. If you know, you know. Yeah, I don't know where that line is there, or like how you change your visual identity without alienating audiences. And I feel to some degree they are kind of in a similar area. And again, going back to Chappell, I feel like her branding kind of allows, or at least at first impression to me, more wiggle room, more ways, or not wiggle room, but like more ways to explore various facets of the similar thing. As you've said, with the sexuality kind of being such a central thing. Like, I feel like your average person, when they think of Chappell, they think about the lesbian singer that's like dressing up like a drag queen. That is a drag queen, actually.
Yeah.
By her own account. So yeah, I feel like there's much more to explore there. And I would compare her more to Gaga in a way. I feel like they're on similar levels. But I don't know where the line is. Why is it hard? So for example, my big question is, why is it harder for someone like Sabrina, maybe just a theory, to divert more from this like specific thing she nailed on, like this specific identity she locked in, compared to someone like Chappell? Why would it be easier maybe for Chappell to explore more?
I think it has to do with how outspoken and bold the artists are in their communication to begin with and in their art. Like the tone of voice of the artist from the beginning impacts a lot. I don't feel like Sabrina necessarily is a person you would associate with speaking out against certain things. There's so many videos of Chappell, I'm exaggerating. There's enough videos of Chappell, you know, talking to paparazzi or talking about things and speaking her mind. And then with Gaga, you just kind of, her brand is kind of shocking, and it was shocking from the beginning, especially for us as kids. Like, you don't see that shit in the 2000s.
Yeah, she kind of painted herself in a corner for a while, I feel.
A bit.
And she struggled to get out of that.
But yeah, I feel like having this kind of shock factor, or this, I'm thinking of the Tower card every single time I think of the both of them. I don't know why. It's just these people that like break through the boundaries of the industry in some kind of way, or they have this pioneering spirit attached to them. Then people kind of expect to not expect things from them specifically. Oh my god. It's going away. She's gone. Yeah. I think that helps.
I feel that, yeah, I think it's something tied to how much focus you put on artistic growth from the beginning, maybe. Because I feel, or at least when I hear Sabrina talk, I don't necessarily, for example, get the impression when she talks about her music, her art, as being this like specific type of vision that has to be in a certain type of way. Like, you can tell she has a team behind her, and I'm not saying Chappell doesn't, she does also, but I feel like she, or at least to me, it seems like Sabrina maybe compromises her vision as to what it is curated around her, and that's not a wrong thing. There are different types of artists, I think.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a line to where people take you seriously as an artist and where they don't and see you more like a performer. Maybe, I'm not quite sure if this is the answer, but this is the impression I'm getting. And these are not, disclaimer, these are not specifically my thoughts about the artists, but what I imagine maybe would be behind the mechanism of an audience that takes in these artists' entire identity and how much it alters over time, and what basically I think could happen in the person's brain to go like, oh, well, I don't like this artist anymore. For example, see Katy Perry, or I don't know, when they change something. And this is why I feel, again, Sabrina is maybe on a similar level.
I think you have a really good point, because I didn't think about it at first, but the fact that people kind of associate the performance of it, the fact that people focus more on the performance of it rather than the quality of the, not quality. When I say quality, I mean, I don't mean like it's qualitative. I mean the traits of it, the feeling of it, the message of it, the whatever.
How you basically mean how involved the artist is in their own, or how thorough they are about their artistry, or
Yeah,
layer.
it's less about the glitz and glamour and glitter of it when you see it on stage or when you see it in the video, and it's more about the, like, what you've seen with Lady Gaga. Mayhem has mostly the visualizers.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really have videos. I mean, it has a video for Disease, for Abracadabra.
Disease, yeah.
Die with a Smile.
And the Dead Dance. But
Yeah.
she also has those performances, live performances. I guess they also kind of count a bit, in a way.
Yeah.
And also she did that reinvention thing, like the cool reimagined version of the songs Mayhem Requiem. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. I really don't have very good writing examples when it comes to branding other than Colleen Hoover.
Mm.
Like, yeah, she's got good branding. And then what? Rupi Kaur, which is, do you know?
I know, yes.
Yeah.
The one with like Milk and Honey, I think it was called.
Yeah, it's just poems made up of, I mean, I guess some of them are good. I haven't actually read to the fullest extent, but some of them are. Okay. I'm not even gonna dignify that with an answer. Should we tie it into capitalism now? You want to get into capitalism?
Oh, I don't want to get into it because we're already in it.
You know. Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to?
Oh, yes, of course.
Let's fucking go.
What else can we do about it?
Quote Marx.
Yeah.
Good. How would you say? I can go a little bit in the theory of alienation, because I thought that would be it applies kind of nicely. It is from Marx. I wasn't joking.
Mm-hmm.
The theory of alienation when it comes to capitalism and work,
Mm-hmm.
and how it seeps into the domain of art. But maybe before we get into any kind of, I'm not even gonna put it like theory, but to kind of have some pillars.
Oh, your camera disappeared. Did the phone die? Oh? So widescreen. Hello, honey. How are you, honey?
Hi. I feel so... This is...
Nice to meet you.
I'm very pissed. Yeah, but basically, it is the idea that capitalism in itself kind of puts money and economy in this position of being an entity within itself that we kind of succumb to. And the fact that people don't do labor from a place of wanting to do it, and it's just forcibly because we cannot have living wage at this point from just a normal job. That really affects the way that we build rapport with our work in general, whether that be actual, again, labor. You could be any kind of working in any kind of field, but especially with art, it kind of alienates you from the product of your labor, because the thing that happens is that the moment that you create something, you already have to give it away. So
okay.
you get some money for it. You don't even get to actually connect to what you had and to bask in the glory of that product.
Money is the devil.
Yeah, pretty much, because that's the only thing that you actually receive at the end of the day. Like, your entire reward system is not really even built on satisfaction at this point. It's built on capital.
Mm-hmm.
And that obviously affects the entire infrastructure of how art is built and the standards that we have around art nowadays, which is why a lot of people complain probably about the commercial standards that we have nowadays, because there's this ever-changing set of standards that kind of go hand in hand with creating more rather than creating something that actually has quality and meaning and takes time, because that's the way of capitalism. It needs to be fast, it needs to be a lot, and to make you money.
Yeah, and the capital needs to keep on growing. There's no, like, there's stagnating. Like, even if you, I don't know if you really followed as much, maybe stocks or whatever, just as, you know, whatever. It's never, it's never enough just to be decent, just to be like stagnating. It's never ideal. Of course, going down is bad, but they always strive to grow as much as possible. And there's this psychotic need to constantly grow. And, you know, I just don't, of course, I'm not really as specialized in this subject, but it needs to, I feel like, because I feel like there's many things at play in here, like, of course, inflation and whatnot. So I don't really understand this mechanism of growth, constant growth. So I feel like that's what's causing so much damage, I say.
I think it's kind of, the mechanics are pretty similar to the mechanics of consumerism in many ways. It's just never enough. You don't, in a society that already builds you to deep down appreciate something that is a god, which is money. You don't really know how to appreciate the small things in life. And I think that's like the third thing that Marx was arguing with, the alienation from actual human nature and from choice and intentionality. Doing things from a place of actual enjoyment and the realization that the moment that you have right now, you're never going to have again. Like this 1 second in which I said second, it was that 1 second.
Very interesting how it plays in with the attention economy and all that. Like truly, you don't really think about time, like each of our own time, like as individuals. It's what a precious resource it is, and how much brands and corporations just fight for it, like hard.
Yep.
And I remember there was this not fun, but harrowing. Oh yeah,
Similar words. Fun.
similar words. Yeah. No,
My brain every day. Sincerely, that is the quality of my brain every day. Either it's fun or harrowing or both.
I don't remember quite in what context it was. Maybe if I can find the article or whatever it was. It was something. I remember I had this project on Netflix or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the CEO said something about, not a direct quote, but something along the lines of their only competitor is sleep at this point, or something like that, or I don't remember. And it's just very interesting because, at least me personally, I feel like I've been struggling so much with insomnia, like just like stupidly scrolling and just, I feel so bad about it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, I just don't know what to do. Like, I'm in a way addicted. I also want to put a stop to it, but then it's a weird thing to navigate. And when you add on top this layer of it being intentional, it makes it just scary. And just, we're living, truly nowadays, if we're being honest, we're really living a fucking Black Mirror episode.
Oh yeah, yeah. I started
multiple
watching Companion today. I don't know. That was completely
Is
unrelated. Yeah.
Which one is it? Is it the one with Miley Cyrus?
No, it's the one with. Was it Margaret? No.
Don't tell me actors. I don't know if they're famous.
It's the chick that has the wolf cut. Something Thatcher.
Sophie Thatcher.
Sophie Thatcher, yes.
Okay. Oh, Companion. Oh, I was thinking about the Black Mirror episode. Companion, the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I watched it.
Sorry.
I know.
I know you did
watched
because
it.
I watched it on Letterboxd and I saw your rating.
What was my rating?
3 stars.
3? Decent, I think.
I didn't finish it to the fullest extent yet. It's something.
Yeah, an interesting idea.
Yeah. So, if you're worried about today's society, have this fake cigarette. Take a puff.
Yeah.
Give into a vice so you can feel better.
Yeah, you can live your 1960s American dream without actually any of the smoking side effects.
Of course.
While still feeling
like an
cool.
Episode of Mad Men.
By Lucky Strike.
Yeah. It's roasted tobacco or what the fuck with it in Mad Men. I actually watched Mad Men in Pickle, I think. In the first episode, they have this entire thing around advertising. It's kind of fascinating to see how that plays out in advertising around tobacco and it being healthy. And it's like, it's not rolled, it's roasted.
Yeah. I remember I watched this movie one of our teacher recommended. I think it was called Thanks for Smoking.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I think our PR teacher recommended it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would rewatch it, to be honest.
Really good.
Yeah, and I don't really rewatch movies, but like it was really cool made. It was just I love the critique of it. It was just so I don't really recall as much what's happening detailed in the movie, but I just know I really enjoyed it. Surprisingly, I expected it to not be my vibe, but I liked it.
If it's any good, we'll recommend it in the next podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, there's kind of that. It's scary time. I'm not gonna lie to you. The
Mm-hmm.
economics of attention. It's funny though, because we have this. I have a question. Why do you think society divides people so vehemently? Is that a word in English? I know it's in Romanian.
Yeah.
Vehement.
I think it is.
Yeah. Why do we have artists and non-artists, and there's no in between?
No, interesting question. I mean, I don't quite know. I feel like, do you mean as in like artists? Can you explain more what you mean? Like, do you mean just like fields, like, oh, artist, oh, I don't know, software engineer or whatever? Or what do you mean exactly? Do you mean artists and people who are not artists?
I mean, let me visualize it with an example.
Okay.
Take my parents, who are people that work in corporations. A lot of people from the generation of our parents are people that have been in this domain for a really long time, and they don't really have passions outside of that, per se, or they don't allow themselves. That's kind of the point that I'm trying to get at. That from the moment you kind of choose a job, society occupies that entire space of your life with the job, so that you don't really have time to explore other venues. And then if you're an artist and you choose that path, inherently the road is rocky for you, but you kind of have some stereotypes tied to you, and there's lots of potholes on the way. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And why is it that we don't encourage people to marry the two worlds? Because I would argue anybody could be an artist, given time, and I
think
see
so
that.
too.
Yeah, I think I see it with my mom. Hi, Mom. I see it with my mom, where she'll want to start certain projects, and she just doesn't. Because there's a safety net of the job, there's pay. We've had this conversation with our good friend Lexi. I mean, so the moment that you become part of the working force, everything else kind of becomes not even secondary. How comes that we build identities so much around the professions that we have and basically the money that we gain?
I guess the problem is, I feel like art and being an artist is just visualized within the within society's structure of professions and whatever. It's, being an artist, whatever that means, is just considered its own profession, I think. Or like bubble of professions or whatever. And I feel like this is the problem, because it can definitely be done generally. I just feel like people don't allow themselves, and I don't think society necessarily stops them from pursuing that in parallel with I don't know, their corporate job or whatever, but it definitely discourages it indirectly, because there's only so much energy you can have in a day. So yeah, and artistic pursuits, I mean, depending on what type of pursuit you have, can be quite energy demanding. And it can fuck up your day. Like you sometimes have to take a whole, maybe not even just a day, to just sit in it. And you're not functioning for anything else. So I feel like it's tied, because I feel like art requires time and needs to expand. You can't time art. Or like depends on the type of art you're making. If you're making commercial music meant to be constantly digested and just like being background music, then of course, and you don't care about it, of course maybe it's easy to make. But if you want to make art that feels authentic to you and you feel proud of, I feel like that requires time, and I feel like society doesn't really accommodate for that as much. And as they're promising to us as AI is advancing that we're not going to be working anymore, I'm sure they're so right, and we're absolutely not going to starve.
No, I am not concerned whatsoever. It doesn't keep me up at night one bit.
But yeah, I feel like that's the thing. I feel like it can be done, but it's just highly discouraged, and I don't know. I feel like there's also like a fear, and it's kind of like a taboo to it, and just like stigma around it. To be an artist, like to be an artist, you have to, I don't know. So I guess like maybe people are like maybe inclined towards it, but they're wary of it. I don't know. It's like a conversation there. I'm not quite sure what the whole thing is, but
yeah, somehow I still feel like it ties into capitalism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I was really...
Yeah, I'm just fascinated because I fell down a rabbit hole as usual with finding examples, and I realized how far back it goes because I looked. I mean, when it comes to artists from the past, I was thinking about the exposure that they got for their art in general and how big of a machine we have in society behind what gets accepted and what doesn't. Like, Marina Abramović.
Mm-hmm.
How she wasn't that popular back in the day. Her art was not that accepted back in the day. Not that it is now, and I'm sure that there's people that still don't know who she is.
Oh, honey, you should know how much I don't know if you're aware how much they call her demonic and whatever.
Yeah, I saw Lady Gaga.
And Gaga and Gaga too by association. See, this is what I mean. Like, society really discourages people from thinking about things artistically. I feel like oftentimes, maybe much less nowadays, they take things as literal. For example, take Gaga back in the day, called demonic. Take Madonna back in the day, called demonic, horror, whatever, when it's just truly a metaphor.
Oh my god, can you believe something dark would be a metaphor for it? Something that actually is real in today's society, seeing the issues that we have. Insane.
God forbid a bitch be creative or something.
Yeah. I tried to also search, obviously, for artists that aren't white. That is a whole other discussion. Artists that had this kind of situation as well of being sort of repressed or even not really getting along with capitalism in their art. And I was trying to look for artists that aren't white. And of course, to no one's surprise, they were less, because they didn't even manage to get to that point. But I guess this is not necessarily my place to talk about this. But still, like, I was reading last night about this guy, Jean-Michel Basquiat.
I know him.
Yeah. He made such beautiful illustrations. A lot of them didn't get recognition.
This is so crazy you're mentioning him, because I researched him literally this morning, or like not researched in depth, but I was like looking him up, like in relation with Rihanna and her anti-album cover, which has that crown.
Yeah.
That is inspired by Basquiat. So I was like, yeah.
I'm just fucking fascinated how, I mean, the man was exhausted. The man was not accepted for his race. The man's ideas were not accepted in general, and he died at 27.
Oh my god. I mean, I didn't really research his background as much. But damn.
No, he barely got profit. I mean, some of his work was so sold for really big money. I forget how much, but I read last night one of the paintings. You know, he got such a small part of that. And after the funeral, his family got such a small part of that. That is so
Wow.
many degrees of fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. Like, this happens so many times with all these artists not being recognized while alive, and then once they're gone, they're considered, you know, there's this value placed on their art, monetary value placed on their art that's out of this world.
The moment you have big corporations or industries or record labels attached to you, it becomes a thing. I mean,
And that's on capitalism.
yeah. And even back in the day, I was trying to research, like, capitalism has existed for a very long time. It's just at different degrees. And I was looking into Francisco Goya and how, you know, he's got, like, all of this genuinely dark, satirical and political sort of erotic art that has come out only after his death, because most of his work was only commissioned work that he did for the royals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't know
he was
that.
just not allowed. Like, it was, he could not. He barely made some small, I don't even know what they were. But not many of them have seen the light of day, unless it was post-death. And then Van Gogh entirely, he did not sell shit his entire life.
Yeah, I was about to mention him.
Yeah. His own brother kind of, like, said that his style was just not good. Which is insane, because we have him in big museums now, and they sell for money that he did not have access to.
Very interesting conversation about cultural value, and I don't know, it's very interesting. Like, of course, now we think of Van Gogh as being the pinnacle of art, truly. Like, I'm just, it's so crazy to me how once something becomes popular or something is regarded as high art or something, it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know how to fully articulate this. It's
No. Yeah, I get that.
It's messed up.
It is. And just from a material, I know that most of the funding that he got for the materials was from his brother Theo. But then, again, he barely made fucking money. So, it's insane that he's now, like, considered one of the biggest impressionists. Are you fucking kidding me? Insane.
Nuts. You know, this is also an interesting conversation, because I don't know I'm not really, you know, too informed on this subject, but I'm really interested into researching the path that his art took over time. How did it not stay unknown? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess it was erratic for the time. I mean, to be fair, Mans did have some mental issues.
I know, yeah.
And I'm sure there was stigma from that, maybe. I'm unsure. I haven't read all enough.
No, but, like, even despite that, like, issues aside, like, if it was just any unknown and made this art that was on par with Van Gogh, you know, what was the path that this art took to be considered high art, the pinnacle of art? But this is, I guess, an historical conversation that I'm not really educated on, but it's just fascinating to me, like, how I don't know, you know, it's baffling.
I get that. Crazy. Keep the Monet in the back. Was he colorblind? I think he was colorblind when he painted this.
I'm not sure.
He might have been, which is why a lot of his stuff has blue. I don't know why I thought to mention that, but yeah.
Okay, that's so cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think after a certain age. I don't know if it was colorblind or... No, I was colorblind.
Probably, I feel like blue is one of the rarest ones to lose completely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess we can talk a little bit about how caging branding is, but I feel like we've kind of touched on that as well. So then, I don't know if you have any examples in mind. I didn't think of any, to be fair.
Van Gogh, you loser. Why didn't you promote your art on TikTok?
Oh my god, you should have. I reposted some of his stuff. I think my first repost is of Van Gogh on TikTok or some shit like that. You know what?
See,
No.
this is why you should support your local small artists. Like,
Yeah,
support them. They could be the next Van Gogh.
it could be. In this country now.
In your feed.
Yeah. Okay then. Okay, let's, because I feel like we've talked quite a bit anyways. It's been an hour. Your personal issues with branding, your personal journey. Let's talk about that. A little bit of your struggles with aesthetics, I don't know, consistency of tone of voice, of shit like that. Because I'm sure you've struggled at the very least on a mental mapping level.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you dislike in general?
Like, what do you mean? What do I dislike?
I've kind of made an assumption, this is a presumptuous question, that you might dislike certain parts of being put in the box of a specific aesthetic or brand. I know that about you, but I guess...
Oh, I didn't understand. Okay.
Tell us your struggles.
I mean, like, of course, my first instinct was to say, I don't really know if I can talk on this because I, don't have anything to be consistent on. Like, I haven't released shit again. But I mean, let's take how I present myself online, at least. So, and I will also talk about the music aspect too. But yeah, I do feel like I've kind of found at least a visual identity that I'm very secure in. I feel like I know what I like, I know what I can pivot to, I know what it could allow me to do. And of course, I'm very inclined into this like black and white, high contrast, I don't know, like monochrome type of aesthetic. And I feel like it really allows me, to explore different facets of this type of visual identity. But my disconnect, there is a specific disconnect in my mind relating to how I plan on this music to be like, how it comes out, and what my ideal visual identity is, and how to marry these together. So the problem with me specifically, let's say, is I have so growing up, I listened to a lot of pop music. My brain is very pop oriented.
Pop that brain.
Yeah. And my problem is when a song comes out so poppy and you're like aiming for a certain genre. Like I have these two wolves inside of me. There's the pop wolf and there's the post-punk dark wave edgy bitch pop the EBM bitch. And I have a really hard time marrying these two sides together, and when I try it clashes so hard. And it's much more consistent on my visual side. Like I'm much more like, okay, I know what I'm pretty secure in that. But I'm still exploring this side of things relating to music, and I feel like it feels wrong to me, therefore it probably will feel wrong for the audience too, until I figure it out how to marry them together, Yeah. So that's my main problem in terms of branding, personally to me, and I also on the cage of it. I for now can't really speak on it because I haven't caged myself yet. I didn't get to, experience myself as a fully realized artist in the context of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really speak on that, but I'm pretty sure, like, if I try to transpose myself in like another artist's position, I would probably be very frustrated about it, not gonna lie, and I would just pivot completely.
Yeah. I mean, I would argue that you kind of get a preview when you hear any of your friends, including me, perception of you or something. Because we have like oversimplified.
Oh yeah.
So this is not that far off from a normal. I mean, no, it is very far off actually, but still, like it's kind of a small.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it's different, and the bandwidth of each person to understand and see you and where to meet you, they know different aspects of you, but yeah, I feel like that kind of goes.
Yeah. How do you feel about it, you manic pixie dream girl, fairy core, cottagecore girl?
Have a smoke now. You have a. This is a laptop. We can both have a smoke for that. I mean, again, I don't necessarily struggle with it myself to the fullest extent, because I haven't published anything. But I will say, there's multiple things that I like when it comes to the way of writing. I can appreciate nonfiction. I can appreciate fiction just as much. And although in February, I know I said something about writing high fantasy and wanting to do that, I feel like that's not me, per se. As much as I would love it to be, my escapism tendencies are way too small in comparison to my wallowing tendencies. So I think I'm a bit too anchored in real life to kind of go the full-on Tolkien route of dedicating my life to this fantastical world. So I think for me the struggle is to pick something, because I know that the moment I'll start is the moment that expectations will build of what I'll continue with.
Mm.
And so I get very up in my head about what's the first thing that I should do.
Yeah.
Because the theme of it is kind of going to seep through other things as well. Like, yeah, sure, I think I have a tone of voice through everything that I write, which can be, I don't know, very intense and surgical, I would say, when I read my own stuff and the feedback that I might have received from anybody, including you. It's a bit heavy, and yeah.
Yeah, it has this like kind of suffocating, I don't know, like uncomfortable quality to it. It's just like I read it and I feel like I want to leave the room. You know, type of stuff.
Get that. I also think that I just don't really leave space for it's just intense from top to bottom, almost.
Yeah, there's no
it doesn't try to hug
lows.
you. Yeah. It's just constricting you at all times. Yeah. Anyways. There's that. But yeah, obviously that's kind of the bounds of my experience with it at the moment. But I will say on a personal level, I do not identify, almost 90% of the time, I don't identify with people's perception of me. Including online, I genuinely don't know. Like, I don't actively think I go for something specific. Do I try to sound smart? Yes, of course. Do I try to sound confident? Yeah. Am I actually confident on the inside? Absolutely not. You bet I've recorded that intro 10 times. Yeah. But yeah, I don't feel like a finite being. And Manic Pixie Dream World, just because I'm a person that, I don't know, gets passionate about stuff. But it's actually a very empty stereotype if you look at it.
Yeah, as most stereotypes.
So yeah. I don't know if That's an episode.
Yeah, and I also want to add that I agree with what you said earlier about not knowing what to release first and being like, okay, what direction do I want people to know me first as, And I also have these, like, as I mentioned before, like, do I want to release the weirdest thing I can make, or do I want to release the catchy, poppy type of song that will forever chain me to the expectation to make more of it and not go weird, or the other way around. It's and this is why I'm struggling to marry these two.
I get it. Whenever you say Poppy or whenever I say Poppy, I actually think of the singer Poppy for one split second, and then I go back every time.
Yeah. Funny thing. Actually,
I'm listening.
That you mentioned her. I feel like a great example of this issue that I'm having is her album I Disagree. I feel like it just marries these two worlds perfectly. Like the poppy and the metal, dark, experimental and bizarre poppy so well. And a great song that I love and I will recommend because now I got, on that, is Sit Stay. It's such a good song. It's so weird, but it's also still poppy, but it's bizarre and
I was taken aback by Motorbike when you sent it to me, and I listened to it the entirety of last summer. It was on repeat because I was like, girl on a motorbike. Yeah, let's fucking go, yeah.
The most poppy song. One of the most poppiest. Yeah.
Loves it. To set the tone from last time. Loves it. So enthusiastic. Well, that was as much as we could say on this, I guess. Let's hope it was decent.
Yeah, I hope we weren't too all over the place. We tried, and we've really shoehorned this podcast in our schedule. Like I was having like the two busiest 2 days of like my past 2 months or some past month, and I was like, I did that. Now I need to record a podcast, and I need to move quickly because it's getting dark, and it's already dark. So whatever, anyway. But
I was surprised that you suggested that we do it in the first place this week. I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so, I would have actually postponed it tomorrow, but like I was like, let's get it done with.
No, I have to take Grandma to the bank.
Not
that anybody needed to know that, but I have to take Grandma to the bank tomorrow, and I'll be sleeping. And I know she won't understand this, but it will drain me. So,
well, yeah.
Digitalization, kids. Great fan.
Well, at least if we didn't make sense, I hope we were like at least funny to hear, and just like circus monkeys or something.
Yeah, we've always been circus monkeys, and that will seep through every single episode from now on. But
dance monkeys. Oh, I see to see.
Turn off the music.
Bye.
I know my shit. Turn off the music. Turn on the lights.
Saw your face in mud.
In a picture by our bedside. It was cold in the...
As if you couldn't tell we're Gaga fans by now. Well.
Abracadabra. So feisty, I like it. Thank y'all for watching. Say no to capitalism and bite the legs off of the big suits.
Yeah.
Munch on their caps.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you for sticking through to this episode of Abyss Tonic. We'll be back whenever we'll be back with the third, hopefully more professional episode than this one.
Yeah.
But we never promise anything.
Hopefully 2 weeks. That's our goal.
It would be nice.
Bi-weekly.
It would be nice. Yeah. Kisses. Thank you.
Love you guys.
Turn off the music.
Love all. I love all 3 of you. No, wait. We 2. It's us 2. It's like at least 5 people.
Do I identify it with my natural born gender? 1,000%.
You tell me.
1,000%. In the shallow, far from the shallow now.
Shallow.
Shalom. Okay.
Well.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice weekend. See.
Have it.
There you have it. Bye.
You shall have it.
Inshallah. No.
Anne Hathaway?
Is that wait? Inshallah.
I hope so.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.